Double day. What can I do in return?
Dire are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Interesting.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A prize.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gold for my tab. Much obliged.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
拜托，谁去杀了他吧！
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
See who's going to be coming out ahead, and SMG have been looking good with MKS. Mid one, I have to say, in the offlane has been doing pretty decently.
Yeah, good
5
roll
seconds remaining.
in terms of the results, and I actually saw there was some other games rolling on earlier on today, and I think Execration might have actually lost those series.
Radiant
Double
team,
check
Dire
on
team
that. Might have been something else that was rolling earlier on. But at least in terms of starting a day with a victory is always good for them. And since we're only playing 2 best of 3s today, it's going to be a break day basically for, I believe, our team Execration. Yep, they are playing on the day after tomorrow. But Fnatic is going to have to return tomorrow morning again to battle it out
10 seconds
in the
remaining.
lower bracket. But from these two, Boom and SMG, pretty
5
solid
seconds
all-rounders for the draft beginning. Enigma is left into the pool. Marcy Undying banned, so nothing out of the ordinary out there, except Boom targeting that Magnus out of mid.
Yeah, they want to take it away. I like that we're watching these two teams in particular because they tend to be very aggressive, and both teams know how to utilize when they're ahead. And even when they're behind, they're not afraid to go in. They have some of the players that really like to go deep. On one side, we have Yopaj. Even if he's having a bad game, he's going to go in to try to create something for his team. On the other side, we have mid one. Moon also tends to be a little bit overly aggressive, but that's when he feels powerful. When he feels a little bit down, he's going to take it slow. But then looking at the draft, I'd say the first draft phase, normally, given that they had the first pick, is going to go to Team SMG. As soon as they saw the Batrider, they picked up a Queen of Pain. So it's not going to be the easiest to find the game for this Batrider. Even if Yopaj is playing it, the difference in hero is just way too big if it's a mid lane matchup.
When I'm looking at the particular win percentages here, Batrider has 50%, Nyx is 53%, Queen of Pain has 69% win rate from the 13 times that she has been picked, and Primal Beast at 50%. So Quap is kind of a patch winner at the current moment. Of course, we did have the B patch for half of the games. I think we now also have exactly half the game. Yeah, we have 40 games of B patch and 40 games of C patch here in the course of this tournament. So she didn't really get affected that
5
much.
seconds remaining.
Patch, but still sits in pretty nicely. And I like that Boom kind of, you know, we saw the Nyx Assassin go up against the Batrider. They wanted to pick it for themselves. No, not get that Batrider countered at all. And there's a place for this Nyx in the hearts of Boom.
And not only that, but you know, Nyx needs to be comboed with a hero that does a lot of damage. Battle already goes into that category because if you keep people in place for a long enough time, the bat will start burning them so much that there isn't a single hero in the game that will survive. Even if you have a hood, the only thing that kind of helps you is the BKB, and that takes some time. So Nyx Assassin's kind of liabilities get fixed by the bat and vice versa. So I think it's a pretty decent opening.
A decent opening. I just really like this swap pick, especially since the second phase is usually filled with a lot of core bans. They get rid of the puck, for example, which is a great ban against the Queen of Pain. Boom, they do snatch up the Enigma, but this Queen of Pain is currently 4-1 for SMGs. 4 wins, 1 loss, and has been duoed up with a Bane. Do you pick a Bane into this draft anymore? Or the Enigma being picked up as well. He hates the Nyx Assassin. He doesn't like the Bat Rider, but it could be a black hole counter.
Yeah, that might be something that you're looking out for.
Silencer.
They go for the Silencer.
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to deal with the Eidolons with the Silencer, and you kind of do the same thing. Nyx Assassin also hates playing against Silencer. You get the curse, you get the last word, and when you use your Carapace, you're gonna return only small % of the damage, and then you're gonna hurt so much. So
10 seconds remaining.
I'm liking the Silencer. The only thing that Team SMG is lacking is
5 seconds remaining.
some control, but with the overwhelming damage, sometimes you might not even need it.
So, like you already mentioned, that the Silencer is good against the Eidolons. It's the burst damage that they added to the Arcane Curse, which makes it even better, which kind of annoys me. You know why. But the thing is, it does actually sit in nicely in the lane against this hero. And ooh, a Barathrum, a Spirit Breaker for SMG to be picked up. And that looks like an Afu hero to me.
Yeah, we'll see. He might be a mid-1 hero, you know, but I'm guessing
Could be.
from what I've seen, SMG prefer Primal Beast on the offlane role.
5 seconds remaining.
Here, if the Queen of Pain dies, I'm kind of afraid for the damage for Team SMG. I kind of feel like that's the reason, another one why they picked up a Silencer, because Silencer is one of the best, you could say, defensive heroes that you can use in an offensive way. You blink in, you use the global silence, and the Queen of Pain is not going to be dying. If you have that damage dealer, this lockdown, this fat Spirit Breaker is going to allow you to do the damage necessary. So I like it. The way that their lineup kind of goes together is quite nice. The only thing that they're missing is a team fight, but a team fight breaker like the Silencer always helps in that. But still, I think Boom Esports now have a clear idea of what they need to do. Kill the Queen of Pain and you're not gonna die.
That is pretty much the game plan. And I also kind of like the idea that they can still flex around with a 4-team fight against, I guess, this global silence going to be messing us up. A potential BKB carrier for the team, for example. Somebody who builds Manta to dispel it. There's no Morphling, but there's still plenty of options to go for. And the way that SMG is kind of building this draft, if this is an awful Spirit Breaker, then it's most likely a Primal Beast for mid one. Double melee offlane with both having charging capabilities. They can get there really fast. They have global presence. They're able to teleport, rotate really well to help the team, and look for pickoffs. And Chen is kind of a good anti-pickoff hero in terms of the extra buffers that this hero provides, but it's still not the damage that Boom still kind of lacks. Like they have you talked about Bat and Nyx working together as a duo, yeah, but there's still that tower hitter that's kind of missing from this trap. Maybe even a wave clearing carry.
5 seconds
This is a
remaining.
problem for Boom, I have to say. First of all, they didn't address the double melee. You know, something like a Jakiro, maybe a carry Monkey King, something along those lines that you put on a position 5 that is going to be destroying them. The other thing is, as you mentioned, they don't have damage, so the thing that they're going to be relying on is playing around the Enigma. I think right now, Boom, they have to focus on banning out heroes that are completely gonna crush the Enigma. Something like Bristleback comes into mind, but there's also some other heroes that might be doing the same. Because if that tower in the safe lane of Team SMG doesn't fall, Boom Esports are gonna have such a bad time. And when you look at SMG, their team fight to protect the tower is actually pretty decent. You have the Sonic Wave, you have the Global Silence. You don't have that great team fight all around, but at least when you're mounting up a defense, you can use your spells perfectly and make sure that that tower lives. So in that regard, I'm not a fan of what Boom Esports have right now.
Radiant team back.
A couple bans to go for too. At least they take the tempo control away with the Bloodseeker ban by SMG. Also good counter the Spirit Breaker to the Quap to the Primal Beast, so that makes a lot of sense. Oh, what would they like to pick up here? Matchup against the Enigma perhaps is still a bit of an open question here. Go for something like Ursa. Do they want another Primal Core? Do they prefer having a range hero like we've seen the likes of Luna, for example, being picked up from time to time, and SMG who've prioritized heroes like the Troll as well. I would like the Troll against the Enigma, but I feel like the Troll also gets massively countered. Maybe with the Aghanims they can pick a turnaround with it.
Radiant team back.
They do have to pick against Boom. Pick first before Boom, that it. Those the Ursa ban.
You know, Batrider counters the Troll at some point. Not all of them. So it might not be that big of an issue, considering that you have a global silence. He's most likely always going to be able to get the BKB ulti off. So I wouldn't mind the Troll. I think they banned out the Ursa SMG. I think that Ursa would have been decent for them in the game overall against these 4 heroes. But Troll or even the Alchemist that got banned out, TA, Bristleback, those heroes that are gonna deal with the Enigma in the lane very hard, I think they're just game winning immediately. It's gonna be an easy game for them if they go that route.
Also, I like the TA if you want to clear out Eidolons, for example. Pretty easy job with the Sideblade spill. It talked a lot about the TA versus Enigma matchup, how you need to position yourself to either avoid Eidolons dying or yourself taking unnecessary damage with Sideblade spill. So I actually like the Bristleback idea as well. It kind of sinks in nicely because Boom has no answer to it. I don't think they can really kill the Bristleback unless Enigma decides to go specifically for a Black Hole gaming build. But we've seen Slark have success today before against the Alchemist. Alch is banned in this game though, but they will bring out the Slark. Able to move some of the stuns. And some pickoff potential for him as well, with all the mobility in SMG. Do you think Slark is the right call? Does he feel like a mediocre hero, or does he feel like a good hero this game?
He feels like a good hero, but he doesn't go into that category that I mentioned of it's just straight up gonna win them the game. I think Boom Esports now got a chance to deal with the Slark somehow. These 4 heroes don't do so well. You have the Black Hole, other than that, not much. But if you get a right carry, if you get something that can deal with the Slark properly, I think you should be okay. Team SMG gave them a chance, but overall, it's very hard.
Pudge.
Choose your hero.
All right, Pudge will be brought up by Boom. Finalize this draft, so they have themselves a carry Pudge to go with, and he's got a couple targets that he does like to focus in this game, though the BKB is still not going to necessarily save the Pudge in many scenarios, but the damage block, very useful against most of these heroes. Going to be a difficult time for SMG to take him down. So like you said, Slark feels good, but is the Pudge better?
The thing is, between the Slark and the Pudge, Pudge, if he's ahead, if he gets an early Axe and Slark cannot get close to his BKB in time, then the Pudge takes it away. In other scenarios, if the Slark is having a good game, Pudge is literally a essence shift kind of pool for the Slark to take over from. I think Boom Esports, they doubled down on their idea of we need to play around this Enigma, we need to take that tower, we need to control the map, be ahead, and then when our timing comes, we just run in. That's the Batrider BKB, Enigma, I don't know, Wraith Pact, and Pudge has a Hood, Vanguard, or one or the other, and the Ag Scepter. If they get to that timing, there's not gonna be enough damage on SMG to go in and out. They're just gonna go in and die. But I think it's kind of risky, so I'm definitely leaning SMG here.
I'm kind of feeling Boom on this one, but I also can't quite say no to SMG considering how good Afu has been in the past, how good it's been in the tournament. But I feel if MKS is able to pull off this Slark, I remember the first time SMG played, they had MKS on the Slark. He had a bit of a rough game. They still ended up winning that one, and then they stomped the next one in like 17-18 minutes. MKS has a very good shot at taking game 1 away from Boom. But what do you think, chat? I mean, we're kind of torn here in two because we feel like both teams have reasonable drafts and good timings to match up against each other's. What do you think? Is SMG going to win this one? Do you feel like Boom has the upper hand? They are seeds 2 and 3 out of the group stages playing off against each other, so this could be a very tight match and maybe a tight series as well. But we're going to start things off with an aggressive smoke. First blood attempt. Their smoke does run out.
They weren't spotted though.
You can see Yopaj is actually hiding his op sword here for the time being, thinking that he might have placed it down, but he has been spotted. They have the slows, they have the charge at least, so he is stunned on the spot. MKS and MK takes away the ward.
30 seconds to battle.
Oh, you don't get to see that too often.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Oh.
He's stolen ward. Now we know why Slark went to prison, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, they used to say that Afu is the thief in the night, but I think MKS just pulled it up a notch.
But you know, the added night vision of the Slark is always going to help you in that regard. And another note though, you know, I'm looking at this Thim's Nyx Assassin and I'm hoping that he has an idea of what to do in this game, because you're going to be kind of torn between helping the Enigma and bullying the Queen of Pain, and I think kind of both things are important for him. So if Thims can secure the top lane for the Enigma, leave her alone for some time and bully the Queen of Pain, maybe bring a kill to his team or just give the advantage to Yopaj, I think that's the recipe for success for Boom opening the top part of the map. So we should be keeping our eyes close on this Nyx Assassin in the I'd say from minute 3 to minute 7 is going to be the most important things about what he does.
Just look at it's zero cosmetic FBC Enigma. Getting off a very good block there. Can utilize the Eidolons for even movement here. And he's already eaten one of the creeps and let one of them just slide through. He's just blocking 2 creeps. This wave is going to push very fast. See another one stacking up right behind it. So Boom, this is a classic start it safely. At least they get to secure the range creeps experience, even if it doesn't end up being a last hit for the team. But in the bottom lane, okay, never mind. I thought there was a bit of a scuffle as they're all stacked up, and here comes Afu with the charge. I have to cancel that one.
Cowardly one. Yeah, he just stops it there immediately. This bottom lane is gonna be okay for Boom. When I saw the Chen, I was like, not a Chen against 2 melee heroes, against 2 fat ones. But the thing is that the Pudge does a lot of damage. And with the heals that the Chen is providing with Hedris and the Divine Favor, Jackie's actually gonna be able to bully both mid 1 and Afu. We're gonna have to be somewhat careful.
Yeah. Gotta have good control with your HP regen though, so you don't just accidentally rot yourself into a losing position. Have that level 1 hook, and as he finishes out these creeps, that's going to be level 2 secured. While in the mid lane, quick glimpse at Moon. 7 versus 4 in the last hit department versus Yopaj on the Batrider.
To be expected, you know, even with the new and buffed up Batrider in 672, it's oh sorry 732. He is still not gonna be able to stand his ground against the Queen of Pain. With the 2 points in Shadow Strike, it's almost impossible for the Batrider to even lane. So I'm curious to see how well the Yopaj is gonna be doing here until some help comes.
You're gonna have to look at the 4-minute water rune fight. Maybe even the 6-minute power rune is gonna be the activity increasing into mid. Paulison doesn't really want to leave the Slark alone because he wants to be up against the FBZ Enigma in this lane, but at least the Nyx Assassin can open up. Even if he leaves the Enigma alone, he'll be fine with that. Chen probably stuck with Pudge, but then there's the Spirit Breaker. If they have the vision in mid, they might be able to charge. Well, they're missing 1 ward now, so that's kind of suck.
Courier has been
that
killed.
is the problem. It's much easier for the position 4 of SMG to rotate to the mid lane, and on the other hand, it's more important for Boom to rotate to the mid lane, so immediately it makes it very tough for them.
Nathan gets first blood on the Pudge, so it's like a trample and a good old bash coming out from Afu. Hearing SMG the first kill.
Very interesting build coming out from Afu. 3 gauntlets of strength, so it's all about HP here. I guess that's the way.
Bulky boy.
You don't really feel much damage on the side of Boom until there's some more levels on the Pudge. Level 4 is usually the one that comes up.
They're kind of like, yeah, you do rot damage, but if I have more HP than you do, I guess I'll be fine with whatever trade we're going to be taking.
For sure. I like that both of the offlaners in this game are very patient.
Afu's blocked. Oh, no, he's not.
He's fine. He's strong. I like that both Mid1 and FBZ were very patient. FBZ obviously struggling a bit more in terms of CS, but you could see that Mid1 was standing a little bit farther away from the wave in the beginning, just making sure that he has enough HP, and then they struck when they actually found an opening. And actually Jack is again in a awkward position if the pull doesn't come out, and it's not going to be coming out anytime soon.
Skem is having a bit of difficulties here. At least he's got the Hill Troll here to help him out if they want to net the Spirit Breaker, for example.
Yopaj mid?
It's dropping low, but Moon's not quite getting to secure the kill. 3 points in Shadow Strike. Really wants to hold the distance.
That is how you play against the Bat. That is how you play against the Razor. Those kind of heroes that the Queen of Pain bullies. And, you know, with the introduction of Water Runes some time ago, it kind of got nerfed the ability to just dominate the lane this way. But against some of the heroes is just way too easy. And Moon is just bullying Yopaj for now.
Ryder has to go all the way back home, and he's brought himself a fresh sentry ward. He is missing out on that one ops ward, and now it's being charged in mid. Oh, poor Yopaj. You're surrounded. Poloson and Afu are here, and he's gonna have to take the good old walk of shame as Moon secures the kill onto the Bat Rider. He didn't get it on the first side. He's gonna get it on the second, but that does open up the side lanes. Mid one is actually battling it out against Skem here with the trample, but the hook saves him. Jackie Boy only able to get the kill here, and in the top lane, well, MKS, he's unfazed. Going up against an Enigma, and Tims has been making all his way down to the mid lane.
This is coming to take the experience. This is why I wanted Tims to be more in the middle lane.
Did he not have a TP open? Because there was nobody coming to rescue him, though. I was thinking like Nyx Assassin would be optimal for this attempt, but
if you would see the positioning of SMG and Tims not having a spike carapace, I think it couldn't happen. They were on 3 sides. A double impale was impossible, let alone a triple one. I think they knew that Yopaj was dead and didn't want to do anything about it. But a little bit too late now to the mid lane on Tims. This is why I said we need to look out for him. But he didn't come to save Yopaj, and now already it's going to be a problem. And look at Moon. He has the first power when it's the arcane one. It's going to be very bad if Yopaj dies.
There's a full level difference now, and they tried to kill off the Queen of Pain, but he's got a lot of reach, and Sonic Wave will come out, and that is gonna be Moon actually killing himself to the carapace, but still gets the kill on Yopaj. So it is a trade-off. Bat Rider gets closer to level 6, but still Bat Rider dying once again, and they will clear out Tims unless Chen has something to say about it. Skem, he's bringing the army with him, but it's gonna be a bit too late as Tims is already down. And there we have them. They finally arrive, but 6 seconds too late. Maybe the web's going to do enough work here. Afu on the run. Yopaj got 3 points in Napalm, 2 points in Flame Break, but this Spirit Breaker is too fast to catch for them. Still running away. There's a 10 movement speed difference. He even gets pushed away. Napalm's there. He wants to die to the tower. Won't be able to get that opportunity. Yopaj will clear him out. While Nyx Assassin takes over the mid lane for some XP.
He needs the experience. It's now obvious that this Queen of Pain is already an issue. The way that you deal with her is with a lot of levels in the Nyx. We saw it in the previous one. But I want to say a bit of a mistake from Moon. The Sonic Wave wasn't needed. He just wanted to use the Arcane Rune and the Sonic Wave. That's just it.
Yep.
And because he wanted to do it, because he wanted to be efficient, he died.
A lot of traffic in mid to try to fight for the Power Rune. It's on the top half. Illusion is there. Tims able to do much to Poloson. 2 points in Arcane Curse. That's 60 initial damage. Get that to the 3rd point. That is the death of the Dolans.
Mid one is too big, and he has a really good ward protecting him. He knows that Yopaj is coming, and he even has time to farm the pre-play while that is happening. And you kind of have to kill him if you're Boom, but the question is how. With the Hood of Defiance, he pretty much doesn't die, and he does massive amounts of damage. And we already talked about Boom having issues with in the damage department. You know, the only way I see them killing him is with a black hole, or if he steps out to the backside a bit too much.
Oh, Quap might be in trouble. Quap's actually gonna go down with this attempt. Afu charging in, but Quap getting blown up, and a black hole from FBC. There's no way this bat's gonna get away. So Yopaj with a securing last hit to get the kill for himself, killing the Quap and the Spirit Breaker. That's a good bounce back for Boom.
It's a perfect one.
Optimistic there with Boom trying to go for, with SMG trying to get that kill, but Quap just ended up getting stunned up and then into the lasso.
They feel like the Quap is gonna be a target, so they're playing around her with a lot of heroes, and then naturally you're gonna be forced into, okay, let's make a play. No, this time around that play will definitely work.
Yep, Paulson will secure this one, -2. Or +2.
Did anyone say +2? Pearson.
Radiant's bottom tower
I'm not
is
negative.
under attack.
I'm just stating facts.
Yopaj caught.
Here, another charge coming in from Afu. Flame Break will cancel it out, but one good bash. Nope. Now, maybe the next one. Nah, not needed. Just drop that base boost right in the face of the Bat Rider. That's going to be death number 3. 26 last hits, 3 deaths. At least he has a couple kills to keep him in this one.
If I'm SMG in this game, I'm happy though. The thing is, Enigma isn't pressuring the top lane. Also, FBZ used this black hole. Sure, it's an early use. You're gonna get it fairly soon. But I would argue that Boom Esports, it's important for them to claim the top tower and the top part of the map, then protect their mid lane tower. Because you need the map open for the next assassin to actually be able to do something once he gets level 6. With all the towers there, just 1 or 2 sentries are gonna be able to cover the entirety of the map. So I think that Boom are not happy with this, and they're actually deciding to put the emphasis on defending mid instead of protecting the top lane. And now finally FBZ is drawing some lines. Guys, wards here, please. Wards here, we need this tower down.
Definitely do. Alfu, good play against the Nyx Assassin. He's using Bulldoze because he's not taking along the Bat Rider. Slowly getting torn down by Moon and Afu. And here comes mid one, and he won't even use his ulti to last hit Tim's for statement. But then he won't have a TP cancel. But hey, they got a Spirit Breaker for that. So might as well use a bash for the TP cancel as Moon clears out Skem. And it's a 3-for-1 trade for SMG.
When you're constantly fighting in an area that doesn't mean much to you, at some point you are gonna start dropping a little bit more in kills. And I think SMG are doing a great job, and this is what this team has been good at ever since they started playing together, is storming down the mid lane and forcing people to go there. And then at some point you're gonna be making mistakes, and they waited for that one. Just one rotation from mid one changed everything.
Radiant's bottom tower
They have
is
in
under
mind
attack.
for this Lark in pop because he's hiding in the tree line. FBC was getting charged for a moment, but Afu cancels it. Nyx is now coming back to mid, and we're just gonna continue scuffling in the mid lane as a haste rune is left for the Queen of Pain. Mid one, he's now teleporting top. He wants to catch FBC because they have to charge on him. Just needs to charge his own, and here we go. He's gonna be running right to the Enigma, but he just got Black Hole of cooldown. Didn't have it as the Primal Beast was charging. That would have been a bigger one, but hey, they've taken down Yopaj, so that's a start for a fight.
They're going for
and Enigma all along. This is a very dead Enigma. Not even if you land the flashiest 4-man Black Hole would you even get the chance to kill any of these bulky heroes at this point, so SMG is now taking over the map.
This is a move that SMG didn't have to make. They have no they don't need to control the top part of the map, they just need to defend their own tower. But if you kill Boom at that part of the map, it's making a statement that there isn't a place that Boom can make something happen. So right now what Boom is doing is probably waiting for the Fudge to get an axe, because the next fight is just straight up a loss for you because of the global silence. You'd much rather give away some heroes to open up the map than actually go for a team fight against SMG right now.
Yeah. Not a very healthy situation for them. For Boom, that is. They need to get this Pudge up and running might be the big impact once he gets that Aghanim X with already a cloak on the bottom, so this Pudge will
Radiant's
do a
middle
lot
tower
of
is under
damage
attack.
in a
Radiant
very quick
structures
time
are
span as
fortified.
well. When you consider Primal Beast, Slark,
Dire's bottom tower
Spirit
is under
Breaker,
attack.
they're all melee. They're all
Radiant's
going to be
middle
clumped
tower
up and
is
close
under
to each other
attack.
if they're focusing the same target, making it optimal for the Pudge. Afu with a bit of a fright charge, but doesn't go through again. And they will secure the tier 1
Radiant's
tower in the
middle
mid lane
tower
with that.
is falling.
Yopaj on the run. But are really not enjoying this game. And here comes mid one. Tries to look for Tims. Doesn't see him. Only sees a couple Chen creeps here. But the FBZ is also on the
Radiant's
side.
middle
And
tower is under attack.
they've targeted the Pudge. This is the big target that they want to kill. Jackie Boy, he doesn't have a look available. Won't be able to get it, but the TPs are coming. FBZ's right in between. Looking for the black hole angle here. Doesn't get the chance to use it. Keeps the pride on SMG. They lasso into the Primal Beast and will slow them down one by one. Primal Beast charging away with 200 HP. No flame break for Yopaj. Moon in between. Awful coming in with the charge and disrupting them once again. But FBZ, they've got Moon. They've got the Queen of Pain. And Jackie Boy does get the kill. The global ain't gonna save him.
Olson, that was a big mistake from him. He saw the Pudge running in. If he uses the global there, Moon survives. Uses the Sonic Wave, the fight goes differently. But either way, you lose Moon, you lose the global silence, but you forced out 4 heroes of Moon to the bottom lane. The Pudge will go to the top lane, but this actually gives a chance for SMG to catch him because they have a ward there and there is no one to help Jackie right now. So in terms of map control, Team SMG haven't lost anything, and Boom are the ones that need to capitalize on this mistake now. They haven't done so just yet.
Does it help?
Looking for the window of opportunity. When can they actually make this happen? 800 gold short for the Ags on the Pudge. Is making good work, and a black hole in bottom. Solo kill for FBZ. He's got a Spirit Breaker charging though, but he's got Dolans. Afu is going to have to play this one carefully here. He actually just cancels it before it connects onto the Enigma, so we'll let him slide. But at the top lane, MKS pouncing the next assassin as he walks right past them. Let's get the stun out and Slark down a half HP, but it's not enough for a kill.
They still want to play around this ward SMG. That's why they're bringing in so many heroes. Jackie now will be in a lot of
again.
Once he avoided it.
Oh, he's 50 gold from his Axe. He needs it. He needs it so bad, and he doesn't want to die. Now he's got the money at least for one piece, but he can't get this point booster. And here comes Moon. And we'll take down Tims and Jackie Boy. And with that, SMG again claiming control of this part of the map. Pudge has been felled. Second time this game. The first time he died was in the laning stage, in the early laning stage. That was the first blood for SMG.
SMG, when they set their eyes on something, they never stopped. They wanted to kill that Pudge in the top lane ever since he TP'd, and they even gave a mid one on the bottom lane to make that happen. So now with no black hole, with Pudge not having the axe, the next 3 minutes again are going to be going towards SMG, and they will have the global silence as well.
Gonna get stunned up, but he does have bulldoze, and he's gonna charge away. Yopaj, he's got the cancel. Doesn't get the push on the Spirit Breaker in a desired direction, so he will walk out.
Worthy tribute.
Closer, that might have been a bit of an opener here for Boom to continue chasing.
Quite mistake from Tims. He didn't use his high carapace in time, and you know when there's no axe on the Spirit Breaker, there is a charge time, so you can see when he's actually wanting to go away. You know, very weird mistake coming out from him.
Nice break up onto the Spirit Breaker. Moon. No Sonic Wave. If he did, that would have been a massive one. Global silence again, just not doing anything here. And Boom deciding to go to the Roche Pit. They've got Yopaj and the boys, the Dolans, they've got the Vlad's Aura, and here we go for another.
By one.
That's not a -2, that's a +1.
MKS, he can only be annoying here, but he can't really stop this. They need to be annoying until the team is back, but I'm not sure if you have the strength to make that happen.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Could see some miraculous Aegis steals in the last game by Palos, but don't think we're gonna see something similar here. Hook misses. MKS, he's battling against 5 heroes, and he's trying to slow him down for no avail. He just gives his life away. Moon finally has the Sonic Wave, but oh my goodness, Moon! It gets even worse. It went from bad to terrible to horrible.
The move
This is so much for Boom if they can finally close this one out. Off Boom. He's got a Warpine Raider he could charge in, but he's not going to make it in time. Roche is going to drop. And an Aegis for Boom with a couple important kills added on top of that.
The movements from SMG in this game are perfect, but their spell usage and their communication in team fights is really bad. I think that's
opposites.
That's the wording that I'm gonna be using. Poloson and Moon in particular. Moon is jumping in, expecting a global silence. He never gets it in time, and then he's just jumping in when there is no global silence and dying. So that is a big issue for them, and they crushed the early game, and still they got to their timing on the side of Boom. This is the timing they needed. They just need to capitalize on it now before the Slark is too strong.
Jackie Boy almost kills mid one by himself.
Is under attack.
Doesn't quite work out. The hook misses. He's able to force the Primal Beast all the way back home. Now Boom starting to look for objectives. They've only taken the bottom tier 1 tower. Surprisingly, it is the bottom tower that has been taken away first, instead of mid or the top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This tends to happen in SMG games because they play around the mid lane so much, and then from time to time there is an opening to go into the enemy triangle early on. That happened in this game, and then boom, you know, you kind of have to adjust. So that's why they were able to take the bottom one. But with the Aegis on the punch right now, he's untouchable. You can't do anything to him. It is that point of the game where the Slark has no BKB, and even with his
they're collapsing in mid.
Heal.
Afu's coming in with a charge. There's a GD rune as well, and they want to get mid one in as well at the same time. And they found Tims. Tims will go for the invis, but there's the Nether Strike coming in, and they will find the next assassin. Yopa's coming in. They got Moon as well inside the lasso. Skem's going to be helping him now. And there's the Black Hole ready for FBC, but he's not going to drop it down. And he gets it with the Blink Dagger to follow up on the Silencer as well. And he's found 2 instead of 1. And Afu in trouble. Big one's in between as well. Has the BKB to roll around, but he's going to get eaten by the punch. Here comes MKS trying to look for the kill onto Skem, but he's still trying to get that one. And Afu dies as he charges into a rotting punch, and MKS down as well. Boom, cleaning house.
Dire's middle tower.
That blink from FBZ changed everything. When the Queen of Pain got out, it was like, okay, this is the fight for SMG. They actually have the positioning to do whatever they want, but FBZ finds the perfect one again. It's gonna be the Silencer inside of a black hole and the Queen of Pain there. Olafson, I have to say, he's dropping the ball. He's not doing his job as the Silencer, and it's a very easy Silencer game. That's what's such a big problem. So Boom Esports, they capitalize on all of the mistakes of their opponents, and they're in the driver's seat right now. Even without the black hole, I don't see SMG winning the fight.
Yep. A lot of difficulties now for SMG in terms of that, because Slark has both of his deaths in both of these fights that they've taken. They might look for Jackie Boy to burn out the Aegis, but he's already got a blink to get himself to safety. But Afu will follow. He's not going to be as suicidal as last time. Hook almost connects onto MKS, and Batrider just finished off a BKB. So Yopaj is going to be connecting with the rest of the team, while Quap 400 gold short of hers.
Boom are going to be happy with the SMG being in the top lane. SMG wants to fight. I think with that TP, maybe they gave a false sense of security to Boom, and the smoke now from the side would be good enough. But no, Boom is just positioning too well on this top lane. No one is going to be caught.
Dire's structures.
Well, the top tower finally taken down with the help of Chen and the Enigma army, and there goes Afu. Tries to charge away, but the Malefice is still ticking. Jackie Boy can't get close enough, and that will not lead into a kill on the Spirit Breaker. Slark also just finished his Aghanim, so at least he's got the pounce, the second charge available.
Now it's on MKS. As it was on Punch to get that Axe fast, now it's on MKS not to slaughter them, but to go in and out, create havoc in fights, and allow the Queen of Pain to do a lot of damage. So let's see. It's not easy to play the team fights, and SMG haven't been doing the greatest thing in the game so far, but there is a path to victory in team fights for them. It starts off with MKS, it ends with Poloson with the perfect global. Hopefully this time he's gonna do it right.
Boy, gonna be finding targets here, and this time he's got the Slark, and the global silence kicks in. Pudge is gonna slowly melt on the spot. Blink daggers on cooldown for another 4 seconds. FBZ catches Paulison. The arch nemesis of this Enigma has been found and taken away. That's a +1 again for Jackie Boy, and another one on its way. Mid one coming in with the charge as well. He's got the bash onto the Enigma, stomping it down the Sonic Web with the black hole. It's gonna be there. It's all gonna be all three. It's FBZ again. This guy just keeps on landing these massive black holes. Moon still gets away. Mid one seems to escape as well. Oh, so close for FBZ. Beautiful black hole, but the damage just doesn't go through those BKBs.
Wraithback, Mech, and the Hand of God allow FBZ to survive. He gets the black hole off. SMG, with that Enigma getting the black hole off, they should be happy they only lost 2. That could have been like 4 heroes dead. Agreed. And the game totally turned on its head. This way, you're still in it. There is no black hole, and that's the complete...
No blink for you, as Tim's has already precast the stun as the hook's landing. Yeah, talk about saving yourself from a black hole, but you can't save yourself from the hooker. As Pudge walks in, snatches one again.
Dire's middle tower is
One just using his charge to farm in the jungle. Boom. They had 1 tower kill. Now they've taken 4 inside the last 5 minutes.
Man, Moon loves when he is when he feels strong to be overly aggressive, and considering his game went so well up until one point, he probably still feels that confidence that he got out of the laning stage with. But the thing is, now after those couple of deaths, he's just not that strong, and Boom are the ones that are searching for fights wherever they fight on the map. If they're the ones that started with the dismember, they're probably getting out on top.
See what they can do with this smoke here. They're wrapping around again into the triangle. There's a charge coming in from Afu, targeting Jopash, the only hero, but it's a trap. Can they kill them all, or will they lose everything? KS is being eaten at the same time as Mid one as well. Here comes the global silence from Paulison, but they're chasing onto Moon. Moon dropping pretty low, has to jump away. FBC from his side will take a stun with the Malefice onto the Primal Beast. Mid one about to be cleaned out as he's losing life, and Afu charges onto Jopash, but he only does a little bit. Paulison, he's just gonna melt if these creeps get to hit him as he's Malefaced into the stun, and there we go. Another silencer felled. Moon gets out, MKS able to spread out, and Afu also walked away from that fight. But still, that was barely any ultis used by Boom basically in that fight. They're only just coming off cooldown. Hand of God is ready, 30 seconds for Black Hole. Boom is very happy with this trade.
They know
No
they're
global.
stronger. They know they're stronger. That's why they're running in. If they jump in first, if the Pudge is in front, no one can go through him to get into the back lines, and he's just way too fat and deals way too much damage. The only thing SMG can do then is run, and not all of you are going to be getting out, especially not Mid one, who is getting very deep, and of course a very slow silencer. He has nowhere to run.
Radiant's courier
MKS sniped the courier over the gem, so
Dire's middle
all victories.
barracks are under attack. Dire's middle
Boom
barracks
will,
has
however,
fallen.
clean
Dire's
out the
middle
mid racks.
barracks has fallen.
They did get a gem on MKS.
Worse and worse. Look at not just the graph, but look at these dots on the bottom. There's been 0 activity. The last kill was almost 7 minutes ago. To a Chen and a Nyx assassin that we're able to get, but instead it's just boom, boom, boom. And SMG definitely doesn't want them in their room.
For sure. Looking at SMG, the only thing that they can do now is hope that MKS can perform some miracles, make sure that the map is clear of vision, and just play off of that. You cut the waves, you force Boom to disperse, and then you catch them. If the second lane of Rax falls, all of that falls down the drain. You're gonna be forced to fight the fight that you cannot win.
Attempted to catch the Spirit Breaker in the lane, but he actually did get caught in the end. Tims and Yorparts are going to be in there. And cleaning out the Spirit Breaker. Afu is down. There's a couple heroes nearby the vicinity area, MKS and Mid one, but the rest are still pushing. FBZ and Skem providing Jackie Boy with all the auras that they need. And he's found another one. There goes the silencer. Good night, Paulison.
Dire's top barracks.
Second, Rex has been
Dire's
secured.
top barracks has
That should be kind of it. SMG are going to be forced now to fight, and we'll see if they can make a perfect one happen. They're thankfully goal behind. Their timings are completely off. You cannot split push against the Nyx assassin, and I'd say MKS, you better get to your base, maybe get the money for that mage slayer, and just go for the fight. This is the best bet they can have to win this game.
Yes, grabbing himself an Invis rune, and he just walked under a courier, so Boom knows that they're roaming around the map currently, trying to look for a creep wave cutting. And mid one looks like he's just gonna chill and sit around for the time being. Roshan is spawned for Boom. MKS, he's stalking about in the area. If you think about how much Boom is achieving with no vision whatsoever, they didn't have a single ward on the map currently. They don't care. Single worry in the world. MKS gets rid of the ops ward. Gonna get lassoed off, and the big fight breaks through. Sonic Wave will push them outside of the pit. Mid one, he's bashing down a Ched, trying to kill him, but they are running out of heroes. They're running out of cores. Moon might be able to clear out Scam, but he's gonna get black called as the GG call comes out. SMG taps out after 29 minutes of gameplay. As Boom, they smashed this game against Boom. Against SMG. Didn't stand much of a chance against them in this game.
I don't know if I was moving the way that SMG is moving playing in this team.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Good-okey.
Ready.
Welcome back,
10
my
seconds
young
remaining.
Padawans. We are going back to Team SMG versus Boom
5 seconds
Esports.
remaining.
Game number 2 is upon us. Boom. Solid victory. SMG, a lot of mistakes, which they need to get corrected if they want to keep themselves in the upper bracket. So, interested to see how many things did they correct during that break. Was it just basically, you know, the classic wash your face? Did they have some kind of pep talk during the break? Or did they just stay quiet and go for a mental reset and head to a fresh game number 2, Harry?
I don't know. Someone in the chat said Team SMG, they need a coach. Like, if I was their coach, I'd probably be screaming at them. You know, like, how the hell do you not use your spells? You did everything right. You're playing so well, and then you, I don't know. I hope that there is someone that kind of raise their voice, not in a hostile way, but just to kind of wake them up. I watched the true side. I'm not sure if washing your face helps that much, but you know,
doesn't win you TI.
It doesn't win TI, for sure. So I'm not sure if that would be the way to go, but a little bit of a reality check there for SMG would definitely be nice, because these players, it is not normal for them to come to the easy part and then mess up, right? Messing up the hard part, the movements and stuff like that, that is something that is fine, but this just is unacceptable, and hopefully they're gonna be playing better. Maybe they just, maybe they're not that prepared for the game. They're gonna go with the Primal Beast again, so they themselves think the draft was.
I also think SMG didn't really have an issue with the draft.
10 seconds remaining.
No.
The draft was good. They should look for some
5
similar
seconds
heroes.
remaining.
If the Enigma goes through, maybe consider, do we want to pick instead of the silencer, or do we just want to play the silencer again and just correct the mistakes that we did? I mean, we can have completely different results on what happens, but at least the Undying is going to mix things up a tiny bit, and here comes the Enigma. So it's up to you, SMG.
Boom Esports this time around, they have a bit of a stronger lane. It's not going to be a Chen, it's going to be an Undying, so Primal Beast obviously not going to be having the nicest of times. This hero relies on it being tankier than the other heroes. Undying doesn't allow. He doesn't allow you to be tankier than the heroes, and then you can't really use your trample that effectively. So SMG, they go for a Pango. I feel like they want to have more team fight all of the time, right? And the Pango kind of gives you that thunder. Other than that, it's not like Enigma or the Undying are afraid of the Pango, unless you're kind of looking into the future and Basher and Cole.
It does force the Enigma to build BKB this game. You black hole the Rolling Thunder and you get hit by it as it's approaching your hero model. You will get stunned and the black hole breaks. So in terms of that, damage the Pango does with just magical damage onto the Enigma, even if you don't build the Diffusal Blade, I think Diffusal is still great here, because Undying's capability wears out as his mana as he loses his mana, and the Enigma takes a lot of damage. I think this Pango is a really good hero pick compared to what Boom has at the moment. But Boom is basically just creating a draft at the start that reinforces as it progresses.
I'm kind of looking at Boom, and most of the games that I watched them, I didn't watch all of them in the tournament, but I watched the majority. It seems like they're going for always the similar style of Dota. Solid lanes, not too strong, weak early mid game with, you know, the tendency to hold an area, farm, and the very strong mid game, right? They're always going that route. Or strong lanes, weak early mid game, strong mid game. That's where we want to end the game, between 5 and 30. And they're just going towards that. I don't know if they're practicing for TI, or maybe it's the best strategy that they think will prepare them for TI. Their communication, their laning phase, their ability to slow down the games. It's actually basic Dota that they're playing, without a hard carry, but more so with a carry that's gonna allow them to win a little bit. So it's a pattern that I've seen from them, and most of the times I'm not a fan of their draft because the enemies are adjusting.
Team back.
But they're making it work somewhat in this tournament, even though they're not winning all of their games, they're winning
Just enough might be the key word. Importance wise, like, this is all prep for TI. Like, they get to watch the last chance qualifiers from a backseat perspective, you know, can observe what the opponents are doing, maybe play some scrims in between. So you kind of have this little gap in between to still prepare. So now you're doing like the normal prep for yourself, but the most important one kicks in right after this tournament finishes, because the last chance qualifiers start on Saturday, on the 8th, and very early in the morning, well, depending where you are from. But for me, that would be 5 a.m. I think. So it's going to be a very interesting week coming up ahead. Of course, we will finish off this tournament. This finishes on Friday, so don't miss out any days that are in the tournament. There's the Bane we talked about in game 1 to counter the Enigma, but the Enigma Assassin already added into Boom, and here we bring out the good old, actually the origin of my voice line. Go buy it. Shameless sellout. It is the Mortimer's Kisses that will apply a decent amount of damage. Good setups overall, but I think I've gone on a long enough monologue, and I'll just let Harry do the rest of the talking.
No problem. Just sell yourself. Problem.
Already done that. Go ahead.
Yeah, cool. It's interesting to me that they picked up a Snapfire into it. I guess the main point of the Snapfire is to kill the Tombstone, because currently SMG have nothing for it. But again, Boom Esports going with the same pattern. Solid lanes, Enigma, Nyx Assassin, Undying on the other side, and when the early mid game comes, the Undying and the Nyx, they don't do much. Enigma uses the Black Hole, again, doesn't do much, but you're okay at pushing the tower and fighting around the area that you control. So they're still not staying away from their pattern. Right now, if I'd have to guess, you would go for a mid laner that can deal with the Pango somewhat well, and then you don't really care what the carry will be. You will just pick a carry based off the heroes of your enemies, or the hero of the enemies when they do pick their carry. So SMG, when they saw this, they opted to have strong lanes as well. Snapfire, Beast, and the Bane on the other side. Pango pretty much doesn't lose the lane, so if you crush the laning phase, you should be fine. But once the Lash comes out, the Pango doesn't crush the phase any longer. No way.
Matchup definitely turns more into the favor of Boom if they decide to put this Lash into. So I think SMG is also kind of considering, does mid one want to take the Pango? Do they put a mid Primal Beast, for example? Or does mid one want to continue with the Primal Beast? Because I think the matchups for their lanes are kind of in importance for SMG, because Boom is playing somewhat on a semi-snowbally lineup. You consider the Undying and the Nyx Assassin help out cores who need that extra bit of punch to get their game rolling, and Leshrac is exactly that.
Yeah, for sure. But now with the Slash, Pango is gonna have a very tough game, because he dies from the Nyx Assassin stuns. You use the Swashbuckle, Spike Airpace, waits for you, follow up Impale, follow up Splitter. The damage will be enough to kill you. There isn't anything on your team that is actually going to save you. Even the sleep from the Bane, if he's in the right position, might not be enough. So I'm kind of thinking Moon in this game is gonna have to be a bit more defensive, or use the Rolling Thunder out of the fog, start the fight with that. Considering the type of player he is, I can kind of see into the future, you know, and think that Moon is gonna be dying quite a lot in this game, because they have his number for sure.
They do. You want to hear an interesting fact though about the SMG and Bane and Snapfire?
Let's go.
5 victories, 100% win rate when they're in the same draft. So Bane and Snapfire has been undefeated so far. Snap in general, 85.7% for them. Bane, 6 games, 100%, 6-0 stats in general. Pango, 5 games, 80%, 4-1. So SMG is really bringing out some big guns with this draft. It's not just your regular draft. These are all very high win rate heroes on the side of SMG.
As we mentioned, they moved well around the map, and if these are comfort picks, then there's not going to be that many mechanical mistakes. If that's the case, SMG should have a good shot. But I kind of feel like if Boom Esports can capitalize on even the smallest of mistakes, and Moon tends to make them out of pure greed, he always does it. It's just the way he plays. I think if you punish the Pango
10
enough times that you're gonna be
remaining.
in the driver's seat this one. So even though statistics say don't even look at
5
this game,
seconds
SMG has won.
remaining.
I think Boom Esports they have really good heroes to deal with this Pango, and with that with the entirety of the lineup.
Interesting. So MKS Sven carry kind of has to be, right?
Yep, for sure.
That potentially Snapfire going into Pango
10
off.
seconds
I'm
remaining.
curious about the way that they're gonna flex these lanes. Who really
5
wants to
seconds
go where?
remaining.
Because Afu's got the 6 games on the Snapfire. The one and lonely one is for Paulison. That's the only loss. So Afu, if he plays Snap, he's won every single game so far. And then we have the Bane for Paulison, which is also undefeated.
You may now
And they go for the
select
Slark
your
again.
heroes.
So it is swapped on the other side, though. It's not an MKS Slark.
This is a perfect Slark game. A perfect one.
It's pretty decent.
Sven hates playing against the Slark. He outlasts you. He doesn't die to the jump and the cleaves. Sometimes if the Sven is overfarmed, it can be an issue, and it is a possibility for MKS in this game in particular, because you remember when we talked about it, Boom Esports, the timing they want to hit the mid game, the early mid game, they are weak. Well, in that early mid game when they're weak, the Sven is going to be farming, so he might come out of the jungle strong enough to just cleave through everyone. But still, I think Boom Esports, they have everything they need. They have ways to catch Moon, they have ways to kill towers, they have even better team fight than last time around, so they can come to a tower and take it down. Or better yet, they can come and defend Yopaj without just bleeding kills over and over again. And I think SMG is gonna have their work cut out for them in this game, because this time around, they're pretty much countered. This Nyx counters every single one of their heroes.
So, would you give Boom the advantage?
Yep.
Just because of the Slark pick here?
Not only because of the Slark here pick, but I would give them an advantage. But of course, it is a factor that Slark is one of the better heroes against Sven.
It is up against some of the it is the top combo for SMG. Also some undefeated heroes on their side. Haven't lost a single game so far. But I believe Boom might the trifle, the challenge that might be too difficult to overcome. We'll see what happens in game number 2. Is
Prepare
SMG
for
powerful enough to tie this series out and force a game number 3? This is a best of 3. Even though we did see a 2-0 earlier on today, it was just a straight up clean slate finish.
Interesting.
Up to a challenge.
Interesting that SMG picked up a Sven, I have to say, considering the Slark is currently in the meta, and Slark even gets into the meta when a Sven gets into the meta, just because the matchup is so good for the Slark. And in this situation, it is like Sven isn't in the meta, and the Slark is. And we all know that every single Southeast Asia carry likes to play Slark. So you just pick a Sven knowing what you're gonna be up against. So I'm kind of afraid for SMG, but on the other hand, they definitely expected this one, and they should have an idea at least of how to play against it.
30 seconds to battle.
Happens warding wise, at least SMG ain't stealing your ops ward this time, because it is it is placed down. Cliff ward and another one inside the deep jungle. Well, Nyx doesn't have Windblaze or boots, so he's not going to be looking at necessary courier sniping unless there's an opportunity for it. But it feels like it's out of the trend, really. You don't really put that much resources into just hunting down a courier, because the lane presence seems to be the meta for the last 6, 8, 9 months even. Maybe this entire DPC year has fully focused on just lane presence.
Yeah, I mean, as players get better, the lanes become more and more important, because people tend to not give away their leads that easily. And it's just harder to come back against players who know how to slow down the game if they're in the lead, even though it's not their timing. So, understandable, as Dota develops, lanes are going to be more and more important. I don't know what kind of change the game needs to endure for the lanes to become less significant.
Paj versus Moon at mid lane. Pango, Lesh has a bit of an advantage, but Moon will want to stand his ground. He's got an Orb of Corrosion also lined up, so having that full maybe defusal, but at least the OOC got good poke with it. Swashbuckle does do a lot of damage already with just that.
I'm really curious to see how MKS is going to be doing in this lane. Naturally, you should be good against the Enigma, but the lane is going to be pushing way too much. And I think, again, it's going to give some room for Tims to rotate. And I think this time around, he'll be ready if any rotations from SMG come to the mid lane, because last game, he was a little bit slow, but in the end, it still worked out.
FBZ CS is going to look like in this lane, because, you know, usually Enigmas have a decent time. Sven is just impossible to kill because of the war cry, so not by himself. He's going to need some backup to line up on top of that. It might be even a Asrock rotating fairly early into it. They want Tims. They're hungry for blood here, and they might as well just kill this guy because, you know, you got a lot of poke coming in. You have brain sap and you have MKS with the right clicks, but Tims is sliding away. They will miss the opportunity to kill the Nyx assassin here, but he is dropped very low, and Paulison, who's capable of trading and healing, he's gonna create a lot of space for the Sven thanks to that.
And I like that you brought out the point that the Enigma really can't get a kill here. So FBZ is gonna be going with the Midnight Pulse. When the creeps get into the tower, you use the Midnight Pulse, and then the enemies cannot dive. They cannot stop you from last hitting, at least in the tower. So I'm liking that FBZ made that change here in the lane.
That is a good point. You don't get to see Midnight Pulse at level 2, maybe even level 3 in, say, maybe 5 to 10% of games you actually get this Midnight Pulse leveled up early. So I actually like that you brought it up. That does make a lot of sense. They could just, otherwise just deny creeps from you under the tower and just, you know, roam free. Rain free.
But you can see, I always like Enigma.
Granny, Tombstone down by Skem, chasing down this Snapfire. He's got a couple zombies clawing on him as well. Got a lot of stick charges, but here comes Jackie Boy. Get the pounce, but that is going to be enough with the right clicks because he's barely got any HP to hold on to. Jackie Boy with the first blood for Boom.
Nice chase. Nice chase. You know, this is what the Undying brings you. Flark is always this hero that likes to be very aggressive. I like that he went for boots rather than some people go for Orb of Venom, but then they can't get close. But if you get boots, you're always going to be able to somewhat connect to your support, and Undying is the best one to do that because everyone is always running away from him, and if they want to trade, you're going to be the one that is winning.
Mid one is at least keeping up a very good pace in CS on this Primal Beast. Relying quite a lot on that early BKB timer because that will nullify the Asrock's capability of annoying this Primal Beast, or at least keeping him away from fights. Or at least controlling in fights, because Lesh definitely has a lot of damage to provide. Get that BKB early on. I would dare to say, I'm gonna say if this pace keeps up, we're looking at a 16-minute BKB for the Primal Beast, maybe 15.
If he wants to get it immediately. Last game, mid one did go for a hood. We'll see if he really does want it. I wouldn't mind it because I think that there is gonna be a time when the Sven cannot fight and Boom have it their timing. So it might be better to actually have that one at that point than just have a hood and be a bit stronger in the early game.
Has been dealing a lot of damage onto the Asrock, dropping him very low here in this mid lane, and Lesh is playing it super cautious. Up an extra healing salve. Try to extend that durability in the lane. Want to leave either. Pango's doing a very good job. Moon is 27 CS to the 25 of the Asrock, and it does feel like this is turning in the favor of this Pango. Especially with that Rolling Thunder very close. The next creep wave will provide it to him. And he's just battling it out with the Opage. Doing it a lot of damage though. But the shield crash swashbuckle, one good timer for it. Does have an empty bottle now though. So as soon as I said that, it feels like Opage might just be able to snatch that lead back. Up there attempting to take the Primal Beast. And that might be another kill for Boom. But he gets the trample away. 130 HP, just enough.
And interesting that Tims again is staying a little bit longer with the Enigma, even though he's not taking a lot of experience. I kind of feel like him missing off the map would be a problem for Moon, but so far he's still deciding it's much more important for him to stay in the bottom lane. At least he did get 2 of the couriers, so that's actually a big thing. No region will be coming out for SMG.
From Moon? It is from Moon. It's a Skem. Skem takes the DD away from Moon, and Moon has to Rolling Thunder away.
around
Going
for the
back
kill.
for the Undying. He has 6-1 charges. Washbuckle is scary, but Pango has no mana whatsoever, so Moon doesn't get a bottle refill. Does hurt him a lot, and he has to go all the way back home.
Death tax.
Cam is definitely making a difference in this game.
Yeah, that is very important. He didn't get the get the bottle. Oh, okay. Good night scam. He's trying to right click mid one, but he just doesn't do any damage. But Jackie boy, he's baiting.
He didn't use a soul
He's
rip
baiting Harry.
He didn't use a soul rip on himself. I kind of thought he because he didn't want to use it until the end, and then he used it on the enemy. So thinking that maybe he can get the team of the
Yeah, I guess.
Good bait, mate. Yeah, that's I guess that's how it turned out in the end.
Happens to the best of us. Always getting the help from your carry. Maybe he was like, oh, here, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you hear the death sound.
The carry at that point is just pinging out. That is what it looks like.
Tunnel visioning on last hits, the classic. Pango gonna get stunned up, and a follow-up from Yopaj. Pango has stick charges. Rolling Thunder is gonna save him, but the Diabolic Edict! He's down to 15 HP, but he gets the healing out just in time from the bottle. Oh man, 2 points Diabolic Edict, almost killing him inside the Rolling Thunder. Oh, so close.
Yep, very, very close. Very nice rotation from him. I like that Tim's is finally understanding that this Pango is actually a possible kill. And we saw just how close it was. Lesh, if he has one more level of Diabolic Edict, the Pango just straight up dies. Here, it's not a kill, but it's a double Rolling Thunder that is out. And SMG, they picked this Pango for the sole purpose of making those early fights go their way. And Ryzen just gets forced out defensively.
Yep. Now we have the Vlads rushed by Enigma. No brown boots. He's still got it lined up, but he's going to be buying it next most likely. Just wanted that extra lifesteal for himself. Pump up some right-click damage for the Eidolons. And, you know, sustainability. I mean, he's got an Arcane Ring and a Vlads. Can you ask for more? Great combo in the lane.
The thing is, Boom Esports opening up the map for them is very important, because by opening up the map, you're kind of reducing it for the Sven. This bottom tower is very important. Triangle isn't, without the stacks, it isn't the best place to farm any longer. So Sven would much rather stay in his jungle and go to the triangle when there are stacks. If you take that away with Boom Esports, you're going to be very happy with it. And you have the tools to do it. Enigma and the Lesh, if you have some extra stats, which the Vlad does give you, you could argue it's the perfect item to get early on.
They could kill Paulson here because Skem just TP'd in. They have Tombstone. The level 4 Undying with 3 points used in abilities, so could go for a second one. Sovereign can start putting out Decay. They definitely know he's there, and with the Midnight Pulse, they finally scouted him out, and it could just be an easy kill with the 2. You know, Eidolons are here. Eopaj wanted a piece of that action. They're going to finish off the tower. They are taking some damage in the mid tower as well. The Orb of Corrosion is there. Slark is TPing for the defense. And trying to keep ahead of Moon. Moon actually thinking about rolling Thundering in. But that's a tower gone, and top lane is completely fine. So they opened up bottom for Slark, but Slark is, you know, he's still deciding to stick around at the top jungle for the time being.
Very fast move now from Boom. They got the bottom tower and the TP
Can I get me one?
Tims, and so they want to get him out of the lane either way. Doesn't matter if they don't get a kill.
Might even actually be a kill because he is very low right now, and that will be Jackie Boy with a pretty easy catch on the mid one. And Rolling Thunder into mid. They're going to jump onto Yopaj. There's 2 stuns. The Cookie he might get a follow-up, but no.
Enigma coming from the side. FBC wants a piece of the action.
Radiant's top tower is under
Vision?
attack.
No, he's outside of vision. They don't know about him yet. So maybe when they walk to defend the tower, perhaps when they see the villains, and now they definitely see him. Tims is taking a lot of damage. Moon, 2 seconds for Swashbuckle. Nyx needs to dodge this one. And he does get the first one to tick, and he's down to 30. Apu's taken down. Moon finally clears out the Nyx assassin. And FBC still has Black Hole, so need to keep an eye open for that if you are the Pango.
But the tower is gone.
He could Swashbuckle some last hits, but FBZ already... That smart move. He just walks in Black Holes, and Pango, he is underestimating FBC completely. No swashbuckle, no nothing. He just got hit by Malefice into Black Hole and he didn't even get to react.
They're not done. Boom are going for more. They can definitely kill mid one, especially with 5 heroes on top. Team SMG, they're kind of getting the same... they're having the same problem. Yeah, the same treatment that they gave Boom last time around. Mid one knows, though. Very nice movement from him.
Yeah, at least he was able to back out just in time as they saw that they were coming into the triangle, that he needs to back away. But that's going to be 1, 2, 3 towers down. Boom, just running them over. There's a TP coming in from the Pango. Mid one is coming in as well. And he gets an early damage onto the Enigma. But there's the Midnight Pulse with the Malefice, followed up with a stun from Tim's Vendetta to take the kill. Mid one on the run. Poloson is also going to be there with the Bean Script, and Naper are going to be connecting onto the left rack. Keep him away for the time being, but the stun is not going to connect. The Opage is not going to finish out the kill onto the Bane, but they got themselves the 3rd tower. They rolled from bottom to mid to triangle to tower, and taking 3 towers and a couple kills along the way, and that's why Boom is 3k ahead.
You had
92% win probability, man.
Yep. Yeah, it's so early, but it does make sense because SMG, they had their timing like between minute 6 to minute 10 when the Rolling Thunder was a spell that is supposed to be feared, and both times you just force it out, it does nothing, and Boom Esports, they just wait. They got their level 6s on supports and they got their levels on the Lash. Now they're actually unstoppable.
Only gets harder from here. Boom has so much scaling in their team that I'm a bit worried about this Sven. Sven right now, he's a prime black hole target. But the only problem from him is the Bane. So if Paulison is able to get into another level of gameplay or team play,
middle tower is under attack.
keep this Enigma busy, can even lock down the Leshrac if they feel like taking him down first.
Radiant are scanning.
They are smoking up with Moon and Afu.
Yopaj already knows. You can see that this is a slow smoke because look at Yopaj's position. He knows that he's the only target, and immediately after that he's gonna get out. Just so obvious there.
SMG's Vision with the Mortimers, no avail.
No one wants to be kissed out. Just not that pretty, it seems like. Everyone is out.
And BTS is able to get the first tower kill for SMG, so you got to start somewhere. But they're deeping away. Tims is right there. Afu cancels the teleport, realizing that he's going to be maybe in trouble. But MKS got strength, is already halfway. They need to run. No way they can fight this.
He found the Sven.
Oh, he actually caught him there. Thought the whole situation was pretty much over already. I was looking at mid because they're already rotating away. Like,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
catch the Sven, but kill. Now looking at Moon. Jackie Boy is right here. Oh, the defusal slow almost takes it away from the Pango. Pango could just walk away from this one. He's got Swashbuckle. Gonna roll out of this one. I'll run even.
That was a long TP on the Sven. I'm not sure where he TP to, but you know, you were like, okay, that's done. The Opage was also like that. He just started running away, and suddenly there's a fight. Mid one running in place, you know, pretty much like in Looney Tunes cartoons, and now he's in so much trouble.
Like one of those Hollywood movies where they're filming those chasing scenes, you know, running on a treadmill.
Yep.
Maybe mid one is preparing to be a star.
You want to say this mid one is not a star?
Not a Hollywood star.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of his movies. Have you?
No. Yeah. Hopefully in the future.
So you're not a fan either.
Mobo has a blood stain.
Haha.
That is something that I wasn't expecting, but it actually makes sense. He can definitely run in with this one and feel like he's unkillable right now. Before the Sven has the BKB, there's actually not going to be anyone that can stand their ground against him. They just don't have the HP to attack him for long enough so that he dies.
What to do here? They're pinging mid. Tims is coming. Afu, gotta make a run for it. Rookie's on cooldown, but Paulison has another fresh sentry to catch the next assassin. But oh, they're staying a bit too long. Or are they? Damage onto the Slark. chasing in. We'll be able to clear this one out. Here comes FBT with a blink in. Actually, not even a blink, it's a tumbler toy. Lands inside of it. Moon trying to take the wraparound route. Try to cancel it, but they will lose the Bane under the tier 2 tower. MKS Slark is fallen. He's dropping, but he's got his ulti up for just a bit longer, but no. He gets grabbed into the arms of mid one, and Moon slaps him down to death. And Yopaj, they're just waiting for them to walk in, and oh boy, Fiend Script onto the Enigma trying to finish off FPC. They know that they can get a lot of money out of this one. Afu's gonna be going down. Skem's not finding it as well. They got the Nightmare to Yopaj, but Nyx Assassin takes it away from him, and FKS is about to drop, and he will. It will be 2 for 3. Boom will get to remain with 2 heroes, Tims and Yopaj. But oh boy, was that an optimistic dive under the tier 2 tower, because they did lose the Slark for it. It is a trade back and forth, however.
Invisibility.
I think that Boom weren't expecting for their Enigma to get that good of a black
Paulison.
off.
Oh, he moved 1 pixel. Wow.
He survived because of it.
He moved literally 1 pixel. And Tims walks into Moon. There's going to be the Carapace used. Keep the distance. Man, he did not know about that invis. He did not have a sentry with obs vision, so he did not even know he was there, but he literally moved 1 unit to the side, and that's all you need sometimes. That's the lesson.
Listen to your gut. That is the lesson. He probably felt it in his gut. I need to move right now or I'm dead, and that's why he survived on a sliver of an HP. Even though you're kind of winning these engagements, you're not farming, and you're using so many sentries on your support. So in the economic game, SMG are definitely not having a great time. But at least they did manage to stop the aggression from Boom, who just want to continue going forward. So they want to make a statement here.
That 92% has changed. Oh, it's down to 90%. So 2% regained by SMG, and they're looking for a fight. MKS on the side. He's got Echo Saber level 2 ult. Scam on the front line keeps Afu away.
This is a very tense situation for SMG. They don't want to let go of the triangle, but it is almost impossible to fight if you're running onto the high ground, because there's going to be a tombstone waiting for you. So you need a one to force out the tombstone, and the other one to take over the triangle. It's just not easy to do without the casualties. That's why they're being so careful.
Amazing what you found laying around.
Radiant's top
Well,
tower
at least in
is under
terms of
attack.
SMG, a god strength per day keeps the doctor away. You want to utilize it even more. BKB is soon ready. 700 gold short for the recipe. Blink dagger after that, so Sven can just basically hit and jump. Meanwhile, SMG trying to play a bit of a bait here in mid. Wait for somebody to show up in the lane and go for the quick kill. But Boom is kind of elsewhere. They're inside the Roche pit.
Yeah. Looking at the SMG lineup, they don't have any heroes that can take the towers other than the Sven. And using the cost strength and going to the tower is way too risky for it. Not only can they move and fight right after it, but they can also set up to kill you unless you have a BKB, and he doesn't have it just yet. So this is a perfect timing for Boom to take the Aegis, and now it's going to be much easier for Boom to run in. They have a Lesh with an Aegis, and they have a Slark with the BKB. The 2 cores pretty much don't die.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
At this current pace, man, Afu's gonna lose his 100% win rate on Snap. Paulison his 100% on Bane. All 6 games. Moons, Pango is also 4-1. Big win rates about to drop if they drop this game.
They're probably talking, guys. The math is still on our side, so don't worry. Don't worry, we're winning this one. You know, that is a good point to have. Guys, we haven't lost a single game with these heroes. We're not gonna do so just now, even though
it is a confidence buffer. It is a confidence buffer for sure. Like, they have something to go with their side, and MKS indeedly so. Tims will get the stun, but FBC and Yopaj a bit too far away.
Good smoke from SMG now. They're coming at the right time to catch the rest of Boom that came here to get the kill.
And there's no vendetta, so they know where Tims is exactly. They can get this Nyx Assassin out of harm's way. And he's See Yopaj on the other side. Those smokes are popping. There's the jump from Moon. The stun goes onto the Bane. Double stun coming out from the Impale. Yopaj now charging in. FBZ coming in with Jackie Boy. Skim coming in from the side. They're going to catch mid one. BKB will be forced out of the Primal Beast. He's turning around for the charge into the black hole from FBZ. Moon is coming in as well. He's going to get caught into the black hole, but he will get some damage out at least. They're trying to get Tims out of the way. He's got 46 HP. Will finally be taken away. Alpha, and this is stun coming up from MKS. Trying to focus on the Yopaj. Yopaj on the run. MKS trying to fight against Jackie, but he's doing a lot of cleave damage onto both of them. They need to run away from this Sven. They don't want to be near this MKS guy, but he BKBs as he's running out, actually, as Yopaj gets the stun. Moon coming in between. They got the Nightmare onto the left track, and here comes FBT from the side. People notice the stun from MKS. Yopaj still on the chase. Moon running away. Another Maleficent onto MKS, trying to make a run for it with the Mask of Madness. And then we got Jackie Boy. He's only got one pounce available, and he doesn't have the double one, so he can't get to the Sven.
The ward on the cliff not allowing the Slark to heal, and thus Jackie wasn't able to join the fight again. Without the diffusal slow, they can't kill the Sven, they can't kill the Pango. It's like, no way MKS is not TPing out at the tail end of the BKB, but he actually does manage to survive through that one. It was such a good play for SMG, but boom, they read it, and that's why they're alive right now.
Trying to kill Paulison with the Malefice. Almost works for them. And here comes mid one. Tries to catch FBC, but he ends up onto the high ground and he finds Skem trampling away. Tims is chasing up for the stun. 10 seconds for Blacking Bar. But he's got face boost to move away from the Nyx Assassin. And Afu, that freshly picked up Shard as well, able to get a bit of extra distance with the cookie.
In that last fight, Tims cancelled the Fiend's Grip with an Impale. He tossed out the Impale, and Paulson, he used the Fiend's Grip at the same time. So the last spike of the Impale actually cancelled that one. So it was a beautiful Impale to start off the fight. That's why, boom, we're so successful in that one. One of the reasons, because Nyx is just a very hard hero to kill first in a fight if you don't have BKB.
6%. 6k lead. See if that percentage increases with every 1,000 gold for Boom Moon.
Nice one,
Couple of Tims here. Jackie does get the slow. FBZ's got the Malefice with the Midnight Pulse, doing a lot of damage here. And MKS, he's charging the backline. Enigma taking a pummeling from MKS, and he's down. Trading Moon for it, though. He needs to run away. The zombies are going to start slowing him down. They've also got the lightning to bump it onto him. Mid one charging in to save the day, but Sven is down. Tims with the Vendetta to take the kill. Moon coming in from the side. Tims again landing the stun onto an Afu. He's not going to be doing great amounts of damage here, but mid one will follow it up with the Rolling Thunder coming down as well to the Nyx Assassin. Can they finally kill him? Yes, they can with the Blink. And now Yopaj was taking down Afu, but he's going to get it from the Rolling Thunder as well. And he's landing onto so many heroes here, but it's only down to 3, and now it's going to be down to 2. If mid one's going to be falling as well, Bane won't be able to do much here, but he's just watching on the side as his friend dies on the battlefield. Boom. This time end up being on the better half of that trade-off as they lose 2, but he forced out 4 and the buyback off of the Pango.
And the big thing is that Sven is losing his BKB charges. The 9 and 8 second BKBs on the Sven should be the fight between the BKB charges for you. And
FBC looking for the black hole. He's just got a cooldown of Paulson with a Nightmare. He's still trying to get to him. Yes, he will. There's going to be a dieback. Sven trying to charge in, but it's not going to be there on time. And there's a swapped Nightmare to save the Enigma. They're just swapping it around to save both of them.
You know, it might be one of those situations like I had a Nightmare and then you take it over to see if it was actually that scary. Well, not the case for Boom. They're definitely dealing with everything really well in this game. SMG,
they found Tims. Script has been used. Nyx Assassin for target as well. FBC is going to be there, but the stuns are too much to deal with. Tombstone's going to be placed down. Mid one coming in as well. Let's Track in the middle. Yopaj's going to be in trouble. Can they finish off the Tombstone? No, they can't. Afu just gets slapped down by Skim, and now they're going to lose the Sven. The Sven is going to go down, and that is SMG basically losing all their guns, and the Primal Beast gets hit by the stun from Yopaj. FBC cleans them out. Team wipe, and boom. This game's starting to look in the bag.
Yeah, right now, Boom are just way too fast, and they're always offering up the Nyx Assassin because this hero doesn't die so easily unless you use BKBs. So the Sven, he uses the BKB to kill the Nyx. Suddenly, with only 7 seconds there, he is definitely going to be ran down. So very, very tough for SMG to do right now. The only thing that Boom need to do is offer up the Nyx, and all of the heroes, all the rest of them, will be able to get close every single time. It's just a very, very tough situation for SMG right now. They need to jump multiple heroes with the Sven, but it's just so hard with the positioning of Boom.
Oh boy. What a game we're going to be getting out of this. The funny thing is, out of the 2 TI teams in the upper bracket, well, Fnatic's no longer there. Boom being the other one. Execration, who just beat Fnatic 2-0, also beat Boom 2-0.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yep, so it's, you know...
Indicators are looking pretty good for Execration, but Boom definitely looking for a bit of a rebound here in the upper bracket learning curve.
BTS Pro Series Southeast Asia Season 12 is definitely a stronger tournament than TI. I think it was definitely shown in the tournament so far.
Well,
Radiant's
at least if we can
tower
take
is
something
under
out of context, is that I hope they can pull off a miraculous learning curve in the last chance qualifiers, and probably maybe the excitedness starts to strike maybe some of the other teams. You know, anxiousness turns into fear. You start to fear your opponents. The plays with bigger confidence than you do. You know, there's a lot of stuff that might be happening in the next few weeks.
No cowards here.
No cowards here. At least in this BTS tournament, it's all or nothing. KS's BKB is definitely going to be a piece of he's missing from the all-in.
No BKB now on the Sven. There is no fight. You can't even kill the Nyx Assassin right now. So if Tims offers himself, it's a problem. And SMG now, at least for 80 seconds, they're gonna have to stay in the base.
Dunning has a couple punctures after that swashbuckle, but Boom is still sticking in the bottom lane. Kingstone's available, Golem's available, Black Hole is ready. Vendetta is also available. They have everything that they need, and this Diabolic Edict is doing work.
Dire's middle tower
Manages to do a couple hundred damage to that tier 3 tower, and now they're pushing out the top wave. They've shown the Leshrac. Is this where SMG leaves the base?
They have to smoke right now because the Roche is up. You have to get out at this point. You're not controlling a single part of the map. If you want to contest Roche, you have to have either your triangle or the bottom part of the map. Ideally the triangle. The thing that they didn't go immediately is already going to take away the possibility of taking the triangle in one fell swoop, so they're going to have to find an angle. But wherever you go, Boom is going to be ready right now, and SMG know it, but they also know they have to fight.
Yep. Any 1%ers in chat? Now's your time to shine. 1% win probability for SMG. Boom with full control of the game. Mistakes can always happen. Yo. A miraculous save for SMG if they win this fight. If they lose it, it's game over. Boom has reset Roshan. They reset Roshan to wait outside. And Tim's in a prime position to pop these smokes. And they are going to get information very quickly. And
they see them.
If FBZ was just a little bit closer, he could have gotten a 4-man Black Hole.
Dire's middle tower is under
So
attack.
close.
Okay, they got the mid lane tower down. If that was down before, they could have
scanning.
gotten a better angle on the smoke, but they only had like two angles in which they could have engaged, and both of them
They're going high ground.
Strategic for them. Yeah, very good
They see the positioning. They're like, okay, well, you're not defending your base, so we're going to take your base. All your base are belong to us, says Jackie.
Radiant's top tower
Charges in
is
first.
under attack.
Yopaj to follow it up with the Diabolic Edict, and now they're finally kicking in. Moon is in first. Sven is teleporting and the Rolling Thunder, but they don't have any fall off yet. Now they do. And Chaos pushes them onto the side with his ulti. Does a lot of damage, but they need to get the ledge, but they can't get it with the Black Hole coming in from FBZ. He's going to be catching all three. They've got a lot of them inside it. The Sven's BKB is also run out to them. Chaos is in trouble. Malefist to control to the ground. And boom. They're going to be taking this one. No buybacks up on SMG's side with the death of that beast. And following up is Afu and the Snapfire. Your 100% hero win rates, they're gone. And this series is a swipe. It's a sweep. It's a 2-0 and it's all boom.
SMG might be looking at Poloson, and you couldn't cancel out the Black Hole with the Silencer. Why did we think you could do it with the Bane? Very, very bad positioning again from him. How can you be next to the